Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the season finale here at Racing Unleashed. It is the final round of the championship here at Sebring for the iRacing platform event. What a season it's been, what a year of iRacing action we have seen throughout this year, whether it's been special events or the championship. It has all been fantastic to watch and great to witness some fantastic and amazing drivers. We can confirm that 2 weeks ago, Lewis Woods did win that championship in the pro category, as did Eno Verhoeven, and you may have seen on social media in the AM category. And what a championship it has been for both drivers, and congratulations to both of them in that one. But it is Sebring tonight. It is the final round of the season. We can take a look back though at what the schedule has been, and great calendars, great tracks up and down this calendar, great tracks up and down this schedule, some fantastic races, and we end it here at one of the best circuits in the world. Sebring is the destination for today, and a fantastic layout. You can just see behind me some of the shots of this circuit. What a place to come and watch the racing. What a place to come and drive as a driver. The results from 2 weeks ago at Watkins Glen are as follows, and in that pro series it was Lucas Prada who finally got the monkey off his back there and took the race win. It was a season of long, hard, grueling races for Prada, but he took the race win. Lewis Woods was your second place man from Gabriel in P3, who had such an up and down race in that pro series, but he fought his way back through for that third place in a fantastic race nonetheless. We're just looking at the timing screens in front of me here. Lewis Woods still the fastest man. There is still points up for grabs in that top five. We'll get into them in a moment. The AM results then was also for interesting reading. Eno Verhoeven, absolutely fantastic in that race 2 weeks ago from Francisco Lopez. And Miguel Beltran, who hung on at the very, very end. What a moment that was for P3 in the AM category there. The standings then make for interesting reading, and I was talking with a few colleagues off air before today. Lewis Woods in the gold, P1. But it's interesting reading for that second and third spot. Prada versus Gabriel for second and third, and obviously that depends on the prize money they could win. Alex and Laubish as well, fighting for fourth and fifth. Now, I believe it's Marcus Valverde sits in sixth place. Would need one heck of a race with one of them two drivers maybe having a bad one to get into that top five, depending on the points that are available today. Looking at the pace, that doesn't seem to be the case. I can't actually see Valverde's name on that list, so that is a shame for him to not see him being able to compete for that top five prize money there. The AM results then also make for interesting reading, and the top three are pretty much locked in as well. We know Eno Verhoeven has won the championship. Francisco Lopez is pretty secure on that second place, and this is because of the drop rounds we have in place as well. And Alexi Partonen, from what we're told, is pretty secure in that P3. But Borges Orzo and Adrian Pereira are also fighting for a couple of points here and there for that fourth and fifth spot, as well as a driver or two in sixth and seventh, maybe trying to get their way into that top five. So it's all going the way of them drivers in AM. The top three have been secured in that top three position. And what a race, what a season, what a championship it has been for that top three. It's been an interesting one this season. It's really been a fascinating championship. Obviously, last time out at Watkins Glen, we saw Prada take his first win. We saw Verhoeven take his fifth win of that championship, and it was really fantastic to see. We can take a look at the format of tonight's race. It is that traditional format, the 22 minutes qualifying for each category of driver, followed by then the 60-minute race but for both pro and AM. Obviously the AMs and pros will get 10 minutes qualifying each. The AMs will go out first, the pros will go out second. As we head into that 1 hour race, pit stop roughly around that halfway stage of the race for at least some fuel to make sure your tank is full towards the end. Obviously, if you remember back to Road Atlanta, we saw Francisco Lopez run out of fuel down the back straight on the final lap. Really, there's not a lot really to say tonight. It's just been a phenomenal season and a phenomenal piece of action, and we're going to, hopefully we're in for a thrilling finale. The track map though, the track guide of what we can show you, what this circuit looks like here at Sebring, is one of a picturesque scene, if you will, because it is such a fantastic layout around here. Beautiful corners, a lot of them. And it really does make for some interesting racing. There you see turn one, left-hander, you come through, easy to run the track limits out wide before you head into turn two, which is a little kink. And then 3, 4 and 5 all follow up pretty quickly. Through turn 6 then you go, before coming down to the hairpin of turn 7, turn 8 and 9 quickly follow. And if you notice here, look, the corners are either fast-flowing corners or shorter, sort of left and right, a lot of them coming up. Now, I know very little about Sebring. I've seen 1 or 2 pieces of Sebring on iRacing. I've watched a few of their Sebring races in the real world, and it is it is full of drama around this circuit. 10, 11, 12, again, just another part of the circuit where, as you slow things down through 10, you start to pick up the speed through 12, 11, 12, and 13. Coming down the back stretch, and through 14 and 15 you'll go before heading into the penultimate corner of turn 16, which I believe is the Le Mans curve. And then down the back straight, great stretch down here. And you come to turn 17, which is a corner that if you're up the inside or on the outside, that is very wide here, and there's chances galore to make a manoeuvre around this corner and over towards the line. It is going to be an interesting race at Sebring. Did a Sebring race a few months ago, earlier on in the season, and that was fantastic to watch as well. That was really, really good action throughout the whole there. And these are some of the shots of Sebring as drivers are entering onto their outlap around this circuit. You just see there's so much that can happen around here, and it is such a difficult track to get right. Very easy to run off the road, pick up a few off tracks and maybe a few track limit warnings around this circuit, but also very rewarding if you get the circuit right. It is a lovely place to come and watch some of the racing. And you will have to bear with me a little bit tonight. We've been getting over an illness all week. The cough will not go away, so we are trying to get through this one as best we can. But Ian Overhavner will be looking for another race win once again to make it 6 race wins this season. That includes obviously some of the double races that we've had, the 2 33-minute races that we've had here tonight. So that's going to be an interesting as well. As we come into the first qualifying session here. 2 minutes have already ticked by at the moment. And drivers now will just be starting their first flying laps. And as you can see, this I think is coming into turn 1, where they open the corner up as the wall falls away from them, and they open into that first run into turn 1. And there they go. Look, here is Jan Vartinen then coming through that first corner. Very easy to run out wide mid-corner to carry some speed through and just go off track. This is into turn 2 then. Just see how it tightens up now into 3, 4 and 5. And a very technical part of the circuit to just be patient on as well, and not get too greedy on the accelerator through there. Now's the chance to put the throttle pedal to the floor and open it up a little bit, and again into a heavy braking zone. Take as much of the curb as you possibly can. Watch for the run out wide there. You don't want to get too many. You don't want to get your 2 wheels over that dirt. That's going to cost you a bit of time in qualifying and in the race, really, so you can then open the throttle up again down through this middle sector. Again, down a couple of gears there for Vartinen. Flicks it right before you get to flow through this left-hander. You can just see through the corners how much it tightens up, and then on the straights it just seems to widen just that little bit. So corner entry and exit absolutely crucial around this Sebring circuit. And this is coming down towards the back, excuse me, the back stretch. Don't worry about the white line there. That one is fine. You don't want to be much more wider than that, though, using all the curb on the exit. Then this is down the back straight. And in towards the final corner. Very easy to just run out wide, as this corner seems to go on for so long. Very easy to run out wide like Watkins Glen and just end up in the wall there. But 2 minute flat for Pareda. Currently going P1 as Vartinen crossed the line and goes P3. Alexi Partonen then P3 in the championship. Where's he going to end up in this qualifying session? Exits the final corner now, right up to the wall. All these drivers go. And Parton goes into P1, 2-minute point 4.85 for him. So Breda down to second place, 2/10 off the pole. Moser then in the BMW moves up into 10th place. Roggenbuck moves up into 11th. And here is Francisco Lopez, P2 in the championship, confirmed. He'll be looking for a good qualifying and 20 season on a high. No doubt about that one. He's had a pretty good season. I believe it's 4 race wins to his name this season. Yeah, 4 race wins to his name, the second most in the AM category. Second most overall by anybody this season. And Francisco Lopez really had to fight back in that middle period of the championship. I believe if the first couple of races, I believe, was on a Logitech G29. He upgraded his wheels since and hasn't looked back really. Has just got better and better and stronger with every single race that has gone on. And that really has been fantastic to see. But as they all come down the back straight, through the final corner, Francisco Lopez for the first time tonight. Parton is still currently on pole. We've not seen Eno Verhoeven qualify yet either. Lopez now goes pole by 0.03 of a second there. I don't even think I've seen Verhoeven's name out there on the circuit as of yet. Just scrolling through. No, Eno Verhoeven is not here tonight. So he's won the championship and is not here tonight. So Lopez going to be interesting. Alvaro there goes up into P3, just under 2/10 off of the pole. And we go back to one of the Porsches then of Beltran, who's had a good couple of weeks recently. He'll be looking to add another podium to his name, especially one of the top 3 drivers not here today. Borges also trying to stay in that top 5 in the championship. He's currently running P9. And down the back straight towards the final corner comes that of Miguel Beltran. Wide entry into the first bit before bringing it back into the apex. As Eno Verhoeven, I've just seen him in the chat. Nice change of perspective for once. Eno, congratulations on the championship win. We didn't get to say it last time out. Shame you're not out there tonight. But sit back, relax and enjoy the action as Beltran comes across the line. No lap time gone on the board from this. We must be starting his first flying lap. And these drivers are going to be coming to an end. They can finish their last lap, remember. So if they've started it before that 10-minute mark, they can finish it. And you've just got to listen for that throttle control around some of these technical areas of this circuit, because too greedy on the throttle and you're going to get punished around here. Just hear how patient he has to be through some of these corners, and it's great to listen to. Obviously now he can stretch the accelerator and put the foot to the floor. Just picks up the throttle, but you can just tell he's not greedy with it as he comes through that little section there again. Again, just picks up the throttle, runs a little wide, drops 2 wheels into the gravel there, just runs a little bit wider than he'd probably liked, but you're just hearing him lovely on picking up the throttle. Now foot maybe not quite flat to the floor as he enters through the corner, down a couple of gears once more. It's not been a bad lap this from Beltran, just that one mistake of dropping a wheel on the gravel then as he comes toward the line. Or comes towards the final corner. It's been pretty decent from Miguel Beltran. Not seeing any improvements really pop up on the lap time, and such a long lap, so if you do invalidate it, you've got to really hurry up and go again. As Beltran will get one more run in. And here he comes towards the line. What lap time did he put on the board there at the very end? Only good enough for P7. The top 11 separated by less than a second. Here is Zilke then on his outlap. Rocco here. Running the brown and green. Colour combination you wouldn't have thought you'd put together, but it actually works. And towards, or coming up towards turn 16 now. Such a difficult track to get right around here. And this is where we're possibly not seeing many improvements and drivers returning to the pit lane, because it is so hard to improve around here, and it's so hard to make sure that you do get your flying lap bang on and nailed, that you just make one or two little mistakes around here, and that can put you on the back foot. Here's Partonen then. Needs such a small amount of time. That little purple sector, as he has a twitch coming out the final corner, that little purple sector could possibly put him on the front row of the grid. I don't think it does, though. Lopez returns to the pit lane and Partonen will be done. And it looks like the pole position is going the way of Partonen. But Alvaro here could have something to say about it. He's got a couple of purple split times on that lap. Borges has got a few green. And here's that purple, enough to find the 0.2 of a second, very slidey out the final corner. What did that cost him? And he bails out at the very end. Here comes Borges towards the line, crosses that line, and improves up to P8. So Fanta, good 0.3 it. So not too bad that from Borges. And I believe the pro drivers are out there on the circuits right now. And you can tell who's the pro drivers. They've got the lighter blue banner and wing mirrors. And here is Aldo Secklin then in that Ferrari 296. There's your champion, Lewis Woods, the Scottish driver. Leading a train of cars through here. This is one thing we've noticed in the pros this season. They've not left much gaps for each other. Apologies. Lewis Woods, we've just told him here, that touched a wall on the exit of the final corner. That's going to have cost him down the start straight a little bit. Got a train of cars behind him. Bales moves out the way. That's the. He's going to let the pack go through. Now he's going to return to the pit lane. So maybe a bit of damage on that car that he's just unhappy with a little bit. He's returned to the pits. And he'll look to get his way, this sorted out and fixed. This is Lucas Prada, last time out race winner, as we know. And he'll be looking to add to that tally tonight and give him his second race win. Lewis Woods only won the 2 races this year as well. Bit of clear air in front of him. Not a lot, but just enough. Nice. It's a calmer qualifying than normal. We have to say that. It is. It does seem that the long nature of this circuit just makes this qualifying a little bit calmer at the moment. And this is something that, for the drivers, they are looking to a bit of a wiggle there for Prada just over the curb. Into the final corner now for Prada. Lap times yet to come in for these pro drivers. Obviously, the outlaps have been done. This is the first flying runs for these drivers. Over the line they come now. Alex goes P1. Laubish now takes pole position by 0.2. Prada only goes into 3rd place. Gabriel now takes 3rd away from him. Here's Nikolai Statsenko. As Miguel Alonso moves into 5th in class, but down the order between the AM drivers. Riley as well. Jonathan Riley, he's been up there in the last couple of races. He's down in 6th place in class, down the order. Bit of a banker lap probably for him. Statsenko 1.3 off the pace. Secklin moves into P5. And Statsenko's going to back out that one. He ran a bit wide out the corner and just went onto the dirt, and that's going to ruin his lap. Here's Jonathan Riley, currently 8th in class. So Alonso's back out on an out lap, Statsenko on an out lap now, as are the top 4. Jonathan Riley going for that second run here. Black McLaren just in front, probably going to have to get out of the way. He does the very wide, and Jonathan Riley taking the race in line, just having to get caught up in a bit of traffic through there. Nearly got caught out by one of them McLarens. And the Scuderia Ferrari HP Sports Team driver looks nice and relaxed in the cockpit. But I'm sure we'll be feeling the pressure as he comes through then onto the back stretch. Now, 1 corner to go. Currently 5.1 off the pole. Looking at the sector times, are all green on my screen in front of me, so he's on for a bit more of a better lap. Jonathan Riley now, that wide berth, brings it in, tucks it nice and tight to the apex. Lets it drift out wide now, towards the wall he goes. And to the line he comes now. What will Jonathan Riley put on the board? An improvement surely, but where did it put him? Only P5, a second off of the pole time of Nicholas Laubish. Here's Gabriel at the moment. Gabriel to the line. No improvement on his P3 there for him, so he'll have work to do to try and improve. We didn't see many improvements, did we, in the first race? Now, Alex, now Gabriel a few weeks ago, we spoke to him on an interview, and he was saying about he's hopefully going to be getting a sim chair and a bit more of a setup. It doesn't seem to be the case at this finale of the season. He still seems to be on that dining room chair as Lewis Woods now puts a lap time in that goes 0.09 of a second off of Laubish's pole time. He's gone in the pits and comes back out. Got to be quick, 'cause he's only going to get 1 lap. Lucas Prada, though, purple in the first 2 split times we can see on the bottom of our screen. It will be Alex next to the line. They're on board with Gabriel at the moment, who's personal best through the first 2 split times. Gabriel just be feeling the effects of the car in front as well here. Alex currently sat P3's coming towards the line. He's about 20 seconds from the line. He's on maybe a small improvement on his lap. Only green in 2 sectors, so might not improve at all, actually. Secklin as well, similar to him. But Lucas Prada, purple, green, yellow, green. Green is obviously personal best. Yellow is no improvement through that split time, and purple is session best. Gabriel's on a bit of an improved lap as well, so Alex towards the line. Let's see if he ends up improving at the line. And he hasn't. No, he's gone purple's final split, but no improvement. Or did he improve there, actually? I believe he did, just a little bit. Sorry, Lucas Prada now towards the line, as is Gabriel. Aldo was down on his time. Prada improved on his time. Gabriel improved on his time. Andonovski improved on his time. He moves up to P6 in class. Miguel Alonso to the line now. 1.3 off the back. And he improves his time there, and that's going to shoot him up to P7. Statsenko on a lap that's got no improvement at the moment, but he will get 1 more run in. And this is Laubish, who's currently the pole man, who was in great fine form earlier on in the season, and it fell away from him a little bit. Laubish will start his flying lap, as will Lewis Woods, the car behind him then. So these two will be on their final flyer. Anybody who crosses the line in the next 30 seconds will be as well. Andonovski's on an out lap. I don't think he's going to get that one in. Secklin as well is on pit exit. And Lewis Woods has bailed. So Lewis Woods there has bailed on his lap time early on in the lap. Clearly feels he's not going to find an improvement anywhere. But Nicholas Laubish running in a new livery this week as well. So what can he do? Looking pretty comfortable. Obviously, this could put McLaren on pole for Pro and for Am. A lot of Ferraris out there on the field. Pretty decent lap this from Laubish. Jonathan Riley looks like he's on a better lap. P8, he's come to the line and improves up to P6. Miguel Alonso, I don't think there's any improvement there for him. We'll wait and see. No, he doesn't improve. What about Statsenko? Possibly an improvement from him. He's just ahead of Laubish, so I don't think it's going to improve here. Statsenko crossed the line. He moves up to P9, so a little off the pace, 9/10 of a second, and Laubish going to call it a day and return to the pit lane. That is probably his pole done. Here is Aldo Secklin then on an out lap. Is he going to get a lap in on the board? I don't think he will here because the session time will run out. They've had their 10 minutes. So Secklin crosses the line, and that is his qualifying done. I don't think he's going to be able to finish this lap time. Obviously, normally the timer will stop around that 22-minute mark. So that means that Laubish will be pole position in the pros, and then Francisco Lopez will be pole position in the AM category. And pretty tight between both, really. You've got Lewis Woods quite in there in contention around that mark, as is Alexi Parton. And obviously, no Ian Overhaven tonight. We see him in the chat, messaging away and enjoying the view. But Laubish from Woods, from Alex. Now, obviously, battles on for this top 5 positions in Pro between 4th, 5th. And I think a couple of drivers just outside the top 5, as it is in AM. So every position at the moment very crucial and important to get here a good qualifying. Now, yes, 60-minute race, a lot can happen in that time, but crucial to get this early momentum and early grid position. We can take a look at the order now. Nicholas Laubish leads away from Lewis Woods, with Alex P3 from Lucas Prada. Gabriel is P5. Jonathan Riley rounds out P6. 7th place is Francisco Lopez. He is pole position in the AM category. Alexi Partonen is P8 ahead of Alvaro, P9. They are also second and third in AM. Timotej Andonovski, P10 from Miguel Alonso, and Mikolai Statsenko rounding out the top 12. Adrian Pereira from Jan Sarni. Jan Vartanen is P15. Aldo Secklin, P16. Miguel Beltran will go from 17th. Borges also work for him to do. He wants to get up that order a little bit to try and get inside make sure he finishes inside the top 5. Petri Lepri is P19. Antonio Rocco, 20th. Hendrik Zelke is P21. Etu Nyman, P22 from Bueno, and Mosa rounding out the top 24. And then that is on the back, on his own, Alex Roggenbuck. Then P25 here in this session at the moment then. And the cars now appear on the grid, and this could be interesting to see what is going to happen throughout the start of this race. Obviously, the safety car for the final time will take them away. And turn 1 will be crucial. 25 cars out there on track tonight. So let's see who will do what in this race. 1 hour of iRacing action left to go for the 2024 season here at Racing Unleashed. And we are underway as the safety car pulls into the pit lane. We are green and go here, and it's a great start already from Laubish, who's trying to cover off Woods. They're already 3 or 4 abreast, right behind, and look at them as they head down in towards turn 1. Woods trying to attack the rear of Laubish, and now all of a sudden becomes into a 3-way fight through turn 2. Everybody looks through pretty cleanly at the moment. In the background, everybody looks through nice and easy as well. And Lewis Woods happy to tuck in behind that of Laubish, and a bit of contact there between, I believe, Gabriel and the rear of Alex, but nothing comes of that. Down into the mid-pack then. Everybody's still looking fine, and it is Laubish from Woods from Alex, who's got away well. Gabriel putting him under some pressure, and Francisco Lopez in all of this as well has lost out 2 places to Adrian Preda and Alexi Partonen. Gabriel now looking up the inside of that on Alex in towards the middle sector of the lap, and now that's opened the door for Prada to have a look. A bit of a door rub or 2 there from Prada and Alex, and now Prada has to tuck back in between himself and Andonovski and Riley. Andonovski just waiting in the wings behind Prada. Now is going to look up the inside a little later on the brakes than that of the McLaren of Alex. But Alex gets the momentum through the corner and manages to come out still in front. And down towards the back half of the circuit they come. This is Bueno, who's up 3 places in 10th place in the AM category, on the back of Jan Vartenen, trying to fend off that of Etu Nyman. But out front, Nicolas Laubish, he got the pole position. He's doing what he needs to do already in this race, and that is trying to stay in front of the driver ahead, which is the pro champion. Here is Alex then, who's lost out to Gabriel and is now being hunted down by that of Lucas Prada, race winner 2 weeks ago. Jonathan Riley on the back. You just see them just trying to slipstream each other as much as they can down the back straight into the final corner. For the first time they go. The car's not quite running full fuel. This is where they've got to pit halfway through the race. Sani's got ahead of Rocco for 6th and 7th in the AM fight. This is on board with Andonovski. Into turn 1 they go. Gets as close to the inside wall as he possibly can. Now runs over that gravel on the outside in towards the mid corner, in towards 2 and 3. Now 4 as well. Sorry, 3, 4 and 5. Oh, it's got on the curb there a little bit. You just heard the car just want to step out a moment. Alex hasn't let Gabriel go just yet. The top 2 just starting to pull away, and that is Pareda, who is in 2nd place in the AM category now, trying to fight back on Francisco Lopez, who has got back out of Pareda and Partonen. So Lopez trying to fend off the top 3 in that AM category. Alonso's behind them. He is P8 in Pro. There's 2 cars actually, Alonso and Statsenko, between Partonen and Beltran in that AM category. A lot can still happen here, though. We're only 3.5 minutes into this hour-long race. Good show in this from Pareda as they come through into the final couple of corners before the backstretch. Through turn 16 they go. Laubish out front has got Gabriel. There is a drive-through penalty for Aldo for causing a collision with Petri Libri then on the opening lap of the race. So a drive-through penalty there for Aldo. And Aldo Secklin, I can tell you, is down in 10th in the pro category. He is down the order quite significantly in terms of the overall positions. And that is a drive-through for a collision with an AM driver as well. So he's going to have a lot of work to do. Oh, he's pulling off. And is at the end of his day. This is a replay then of the start. And you can just see the chaos behind. Is Aldo done for the day? As they come through into turn 1, it was very congested, but everybody made it through. A scrape here there, and it was lovely to see everybody getting through turn 1 nice and cleanly. And into turn 2. Bit of door banging there from Gabriel and that of Alex. It's just put Alex on the grass momentarily This is a look from behind that of Lewis Woods. There's the tap, but Gabriel had the wiggle. Alex on the grass and rejoins there. This is what the penalty's for. This is Aldo on Sarni, on Lepre, sorry. Yeah, just spins him around a little bit there. Tap on the rear, around he goes. This is Lopez back up the inside. Great manoeuvre that from Francisco Lopez. Here is Rocco then. 7th place there. I believe that we have lost Eklund due to that drive-through penalty. He's pulled it into the pits at the end of turn 1 and he is out. Miguel Beltran now fending off that from Alvaro behind. The two Spaniard, the Spaniard and the Colombian going at it at the moment. Beltran there, you just see how hard he's working, is nearly into the boot of that Porsche went Alvaro. They've got Sarni and Rocco just behind them as well. Lewis Woods fastest lap of the race on the last lap. Just lost a bit of time though to Laubish, but Beltran here. Good couple of results in recent weeks for Miguel Beltran. As Petri moves back up to P12, trying to recover from that earlier moment. Beltran looks like he's got the speed in a straight line, and it does seem to be under the braking that Alvaro is closing that gap. Up to the back of Miguel. There you see again, look, just under the braking and on corner entry is where Alvaro's really closing up to the back of the Porsche. Problem is, he's not alongside to try and stick the nose in and have a look. And you just feel that maybe the straight line off Beltran's Porsche is what is helping him, look. Because under the brakes, Alvaro's so much more confident. Back to the front, though, Gabriel is still under pressure from Alex for that podium spot. Gabriel now trying to maybe just drop Alex a little bit and try and creep onto the back of Lewis Woods and Nicholas Laubish. Laubish, I have to say, is controlling this race very well. Hands on the wheel, Gabriel. As they come through into the final sector of this lap then. So Lewis Wood fastest lap of the race at the moment. Lucas Prada now down in P5, race winner 2 weeks ago to Watkins Glen. I'm sure he'd love another podium as Petri now gets past Zilke, so he's really on a bit of momentum, is Petri, at the moment after that spin. Still got a long time to go, does Petri, to try and just bring that gap back down a little bit. We're only 8 minutes in, so 52 minutes still left to go. As we're on lap 4. Laubish doing what he needs to do at the moment. Ooh, clip of the wall here from Alex, just in front. Slight graze, you saw the sparks flying. So bumpy over the curbs through these first couple of corners. And it's all about that throttle control and just being patient to get back on the power. The run for Prada as Gabriel tries to break the slipstream, and Gabriel just gets off the throttle before applying the brakes, just to slow the car down a couple of miles per hour, so he doesn't run into the back of Alex. Gabriel again just taking an interesting line there. Just wonder if something is the problem with the PC at home that he's maybe sorting out, because he strange line through that middle part of the lap. Yeah, his camera has gone down, so Gabriel just a little distracted at the minute with whatever is going off in the background. Now, obviously, that won't affect prize money or anything or a result, because we have seen that his camera has been on, and as long as that he can, you know, show that the camera was connected, his result will classify. So maybe it's a case of, you know, just leave the camera alone for the time being and focus on that race in front, because what you wouldn't want to do, Alvaro's had a big moment in the background into the wall, and it looked like it was all on his own. just seemed to go on him through the corner. Front bumper gone, a shake of the head from him. There didn't seem to be any contact from anyone. We'll hopefully get a replay of that as Gabriel now going defensive on Alex and now coming back to the racing line. Into turn one they go. A bit wide though on the exit there from Gabriel, so whatever he's just trying to figure out at the minute, it's just putting him off ever so slightly. Excuse me. Rocco moves ahead of Beltran, then that's for 5th and 6th in the AM category, so Beltran has lost out to Rocco. Borges also running 7th in class. I'm sure he'd like to maybe pick up a few places here or there. This is Lopez and Andonovski going at it. It's Lopez, the leader in AM, getting past out of Andonovski, putting an AM car between himself, Pereira, and Partonen. And Petri's out, so Petri's back in the pits. Bueno also in the pit lane. Nyman in the pits as well. So what has happened back there for the three of them to be in the pits at the same time would suggest something has happened. And Petri out, to me, means that he's gone. Nyman and Bueno have just returned to the pit lane. Prada then P5. Gabriel still defending from Alex in front. This is coming through towards turn 16 they go. McLaren mounting the curb. You saw the sparks flying there. Lewis Wood still within that 4/10 of Laubish. That's kind of stayed as it was, but great fight between these three. And Jonathan Riley just can't really stick with him. He's close behind. He's within, what, 6/10, but can't get any closer. Another clip of the wall was that for Alex there. Just on the outside. Oh, I thought he'd hit the wall hard there, but it's where the track raises on that outside line. And Gabriel once again tries to just break the slipstream slightly of Alex in front. Alex again just brushing the wall. He's flirting with danger here, is Alex. It's not going to really be doing a lot to the car, these little scrapes. You misjudge it once and hit it harder, and that could be your game over. Wipers came on there for a moment for Lucas Prada. It looked like here's Lewis Woods just raised a 10.5 over Laubish on this last lap. Knows the championship's already in the bag, so just fighting really for that next race win. If you take his drop scores out of the equation here, his lowest result is a 2nd. As Andonovski is now out the race. So Andonovski now returns to the pit lane. There you see Nyman and Bueno in as well, and a drive-through penalty for Petri for causing a collision with Bueno. Carlo has since retired from this race. So Petri caught up in an incident earlier where Secklin got a drive-through penalty. Now Petri himself has got a drive-through penalty, but has retired from the race then. And really a shame to see. Gabriel once again tries to go defensive, and the slipstream just tries to be broken. This is Alvaro up the inside of Beltran. Yeah, maybe a bit of net code. I don't think so there. Whew, look at that, slings right up the inside. Possibly a bit of net code. The cars didn't look like they touched. Oh no, maybe they did. Maybe they did. I don't see what Beltran could have done there. This is what Petri got the drive-through for. Just dive on Bueno there. Managed to hold it all together. Oh, then Bueno, yeah, big shunt. Big shunt from the car behind. And that's why they all returned to the pit lane at the same time. Then off into the wall. Oh, Moser made the good move on the car originally, and then has to avoid everybody to get out of it. So yeah, maybe Alvaro didn't lose the car on his own. It'll be interesting to see what happened to Andonovski as well. He has just returned to the pit lane since then. And And well, we have lost a few drivers from this race. Nyman, Laprie, Secklin, Bueno are all out. No, sorry, Bueno and Nyman have actually returned back to the circuit. And Andonovski is then the other car out of the race at this moment in time. This, though, is Gabriel, currently P3 in this race. Looks like he's running pretty well up the order in this one. Zilke has passed Moser. Shame for Petri as well, because he was on a bit of a charge. Moser's now got back ahead of Zilke as well, so that's down for 10th and 11th in class in this race. Gabriel just seems to be a bit more consistent in his lines now. Seems to be a bit more with it. Alexi Parton going side by side with Pereira. He's going to have that inside line coming into the final corner. He's got the move done before the final corner. So Alexi Parton then moves up the inside and into P2 in the AM class then. So good stuff from Partonen. He's been fantastic all season. Has actually taken 2 race wins this season. Here's Rocco running P5. Having a look now on the back of Sarni. In fact, having a move up the inside into turn 2. Sarni turns in, but there's a Porsche there. And now they still rub doors a little bit through 3, 4, and into 5. And has Rocco got the move done now? Beltran is watching on in the background, as is Borges Arzo. Rocco still going to try and hold it around the outside at the hairpin. Sarni and Rocco still going hammer and tong at the moment. This is a great fight between these two. Rocco now looks like he's got the move around the outside, but this track twists left and right. So you don't know where it's going to end up. Beltran's now having a bit of a look, but Rocco is through. Goes defensive, which causes then Sarni to break a little early. And Beltran didn't have time to react there at all. Just caught the back of Sarni there. You just saw the rear bumper just dint in a little bit. Possibly a bit of damage on the front of Beltran's car, but definitely a bit on the rear of Sarni. But a good move from Rocco, good fight up until that point. And now if these two are carrying just a little bit of damage, Borges Arzo is going to be right up for that. Again, the windscreen wiper flashing away, wiping away, flashing. And down the back straight they come. Alex has got ahead of Gabriel now. And that is coming into the final corner, so Alex has finally managed to get back in front of Gabriel. Top 2 as they were, gap 3/10 still. Gabriel lapped in a 2:01.2 last time around, so possibly just still trying to fiddle with that camera or something. Zorzo's now got ahead of Beltran down the order for 7th and 8th. Beltran's now lost out again, in fact gains that place back over Vartanen. And this is that fight. There's Borges Arzo in the orange McLaren. Beltran looking back up the inside. Arzo gives him the room. Beltran still trying to have a look and now tucks in between him and Vartanen. So Borges Arzo up to 6th in class. There you see the temperature, it's 27-degree air temp. 29 degrees track temperature, no chance of rain. There's 10 kilometers an hour wind. It's 7 minutes to 7 in the evening, and Beltran's coming back at Borges Arzo here. Borges got that one covered on the inside line and manages to hold on to it. This is what happened with Alex getting past Gabriel in the slipstream down the back straight, just pulls out into the final corner, up the inside. Really just a traditional overtake, really nothing special about that, using that slipstream, getting up the inside and getting the job done. Great respect there given by Gabriel. We caught obviously the end of that fight. Now for Borges Arzo, the question's going to be, can he get on the back of Sarni, who's got, we know, that rear left bumper damage? Excuse me, Beltran then, P7 at the moment we're on board with. He's had a good couple of runs in recent weeks. And this is Vartanen, currently in P8. He'll be looking for a way through as well. This, though, is Hendrik Zelke trying to get past that BMW of Moser into the final corner. Can't do so yet. That BMW, the only BMW on the grid today. There's only one Lamborghini as well. Doing pretty well out there at the moment. And for Zelke then, the Swiss driver, fighting against his Swiss colleague. Oh, sorry, missed the crash head. I just took 2 seconds to look at the timing screen. Just saw carnage off that. That is Nyman and Bueno then, who are already a lap down with each other. Yeah, they're already a lap down. So whatever has happened there, Nyman back into the pits, as is Bueno, and he looks pretty unhappy with that. Gabriel P4. So I'm just wondering what's happening there. Lewis Wood still got the fastest lap on the race. We'll get a replay to that as soon as possible. Miguel Beltran's P7. He's in a good train of fights with Zarzo, Sarni, and then that of Rocco. This is Gabriel and Lucas Prada at the moment, who are 4th and 5th overall and in pro. Lewis Woods has lost time to Laubish up front. That gap's extended just a couple of tenths. There's also Statsenko, who's on the back of Alonso. Lopez is gaining on Riley. And really, for Francisco Lopez, gaining on the back of another pro driver. I believe he got past Andonovski earlier on before Andonovski retired from the race. In fact, there's Lopez actually now getting past that of Jonathan Riley. So, brilliant move from the AM leader at the moment. 2nd place in the AM Championship. And brilliant to see him fighting with the top boys. We spoke to him a few weeks ago, and he's hoping to be with the pro guys next year, and he's taking this as a great learning experience to race with these drivers at the front end of the grid. Bueno Nyman is out of this race. That to me would mean that he has left the server. This is the replay of the incident then, so we're able to get a better look of it. So, oh, got a wiggle onto the grass. And both into the wall. This is on board then. Not sure which one this is. I believe this is Nyman. We're on board with. Gets a wiggle onto the grass, under the braking, and into the side then. And a drive-through penalty for him, but he has since retired for the crash with Bueno. Yeah, Nyman there. Pretty easy to see he was at fault. Just had a moment, got on the dirt, and car didn't stop. Still got a good four-way fight there between Rocco, Sarni, Zarzo and Beltran on the timing screens. This is Lucas Prada with Gabriel just ahead. Both drive for the WSR Esports bookkicker team. But at the moment, can't do anything. Prada. He's been patient today. He didn't look overly aggressive on the back of Alex. He's not looking overly aggressive on the back of Gabriel. Might be a bit wary that he's got Francisco Lopez just under 2 seconds behind, and Lopez has been charging in this race. He's been matching the leaders. So his pace is up there. Laubish did a personal best last time out though, a 2:03.40. A couple of hundredths slower than the fastest lap of the race. As I say that, he goes and sets the fastest lap of the race with a 2:02.96. So Laubish now over a second in the lead, just starting to turn it on a little bit. Tyres are going to be interesting around here. Obviously, we know the drivers are going to be pitting for fuel. That could open any time now. So fuel could open any time from now. Within the next 10 minutes, I'd say. Here is Zelke looking back up the inside of the BMW once again of Moser, but can't do so at the moment. That BMW just being able to do enough. Not sure what that is above the driver's head in the background. I'm going to guess a dartboard. It could be anything though. clearly into all of the sports. His Moser there plays a bit of darts when he's not sim racing with the looks of things, but he's doing a great job at the moment. Sporting an Alfa Romeo Formula 1 shirt there as well. Bueno is out of this race. We're back in the pit lane. There he is, look. Sporting the Alfa Romeo shirt. We've tried to bring you what we do believe is a dartboard. The Swiss driver then. Down the order in P10, the only BMW M4 driver. Great car. I don't know what it's like on our racing. I'm very new to the platform, but it's great on other sims. Ferrari seems car of choice, I'm going to assume, on iRacing, as majority are. Just a little quiet at the moment. Pit stops are going to be happening within any time now. And there you see, behind the two white and black and red Ferraris is that orange McLaren of Francisco Lopez, who's just got 0.3 closer in that last lap. So very interesting. See, there's the gap, look, between Lopez and Prada, just coming down. So Lopez here, this could be a fantastic story if he gets himself on the overall podium. Never mind that obviously there's no points for overall. It is based on pro and on am, so it is based on the two separate categories. But to be in that overall podium, we've seen a few of that on them reverse grid half-an-hour races we've done previous weeks in the championship. Obviously the hour-long event here for the season finale. And that is... well, that looks to be a slow Laubish here. I believe it was just a section of circuit he was up. Yeah, I think the angle of the camera there made it look worse than what it was. I think it was the corners he was coming through. Gap still at 1.5, so it's just proving how much Laubish has sort of upped his pace in recent laps. He's just reset another fastest lap of the race last time out. There you go, look. Gap pretty much stayed the same at just under a second, then all of a sudden, bang, Laubish has turned it on. Did he fuel save a little bit to go longer in the first stint? Did he tyre save a little bit? Who knows? But he's now started to put the hammer down. Nearly halfway through this race. Very surprised we haven't seen a pit stop. Lopez has still gained. And there is still a fight behind Rocco with Sarni, Zarzo and Beltran. Not a lot developing in that. Them gaps have just kind of opened up between each other. Closest fight on track is that of Gabriel and Lucas Prada. And in control is Laubish at the moment. Moser and Zilke still side by side with each other. Look down the back end of the circuit. Moser hangs on in there once again. Great drive from these two. Really has been a fantastic one. Jan Sarni, first driver into the pits. So he said any time now. Jan Sarni. Alvaro's in as well. I believe Alvaro's still been driving around with some damage on the front of his car. That'll be from when with the contact with Beltran earlier in the race that he hit the wall from. So he's also now come into the pits and is going to get that one repaired, I'd assume. Fair play for him to keep going with the damage. Miguel Alonso, P7 in class. He's got Statsenko on the back of him. You can tell the different classes. The banner on the above the windscreen and the wing mirrors. Lighter blue is pro, dark blue is am, as Sarni is out of the pits. That was stationary for 21.1 seconds. Alvaro's also out for 21.5 seconds stationary. But Miguel Alonso just trying to hang in there over Statsenko at the moment. You see behind, there's Rocco on Borges Zarzo. Obviously that gap's kind of died down now, the fact that Sarni's pitted. So Sarni's came out P11 in class, 56 seconds off the leader. Borges Zarzo is only 14 seconds off the leader, so a long pit lane here. when you think he was only stationary for 21 seconds. Zarzo actually behind has just got under a second to Alvaro, we can see there, to the Porsche. But this is the battle for 7th and 8th in class. Zarzo wants every point he can to try and hang on to that top 5 in this championship. He won back at Spa. There's a parade of pits from P3 in AM. And Nicolas Laubisch hasn't finished on the podium since his race win in the 3rd round of the season back at Hockenheim. And that was, whoa, that was probably back in August, I believe. I think that's the one that Sam brought you the coverage of. Beltran's also into the pits. That was way back when. So an interesting one. Not on the podium. Well, he's doing a fantastic job at the moment. Only 2 more drivers in the pits. Paredes already done. So here comes Jan Sarni as Paredes on pit exit. That was 21.3 and 21.1 for Beltran. Beltran's pit stop matched out of Sarni, and Beltran was in a fight with Sarni. And Jan Sarni gets ahead, I believe, was already in front of Beltran, so gets the jump, and maybe a bit more over Beltran. I believe it was Zarzo in between Beltran and Sarni before the pit stops. So that's going to be interesting, as Statsenko having a look on the back of Alonso here, the 2 Ferrari drivers. Statsenko doing a nice patient job at the moment. Laubisch now 2 seconds in the lead of this race. Fantastic drive from him. Statsenko just getting close, but not close enough. It's a little deep, and Riley's the first pro driver to pit. Is Statsenko coming in? Partanan's in as well, as is Statsenko. So going for the undercut here. And that was a late call, I think, from Rocco maybe to come into the pit lane. Vartanen into the pit, so Zarzo stays out. So Rocco then was leading that train of 4 of Beltran, of Sarni, of Zarzo, which is going to be interesting to see where Rocco appears. So 21.1 for Jan Sarni, 21.1 for Miguel Beltran. But Beltran's been held a little bit by Rogenbuck. He's not now, he's got past him. So this is going to be interesting to see what he's going to be able to do. Jonathan Riley done, Partanen done. 24 seconds in the pits for Riley, so that seems a bit of a long pit stop. There is Jonathan Riley coming into pit exit now. As Vartanen into the pits as well, as is Moser. There is Rocco, who was ahead of Sarni before the pit stops. His pit stop was 1.4 seconds longer and is now behind Jan Sarni. So Rocco's pit stop there just a little longer than he'd have probably wanted. Running the VR headset. So is that advantage Zarzo? With the fact he's running a little longer into this race, he's obviously going to have to possibly put in a little less fuel. And look at Francisco Lopez in the background of Prada and Gabriel here. As Gabriel goes defensive over Lucas Prada. Francisco Lopez is right in play here. And into the pits comes Gabriel, as does Francisco Lopez, your leader in AM. Great pace from Francisco today. Rogenbuck is only now just on the pit exit as the leaders have came through. 2.2 seconds that gap, Laubisch to Woods. On the jacks they go. Zarzo's in the pits, as is Statsenko. So this could be crucial for Zarzo here. Just a few more points for that top 5 finish in the championship in AM. What's the pit stop going to be? Up he goes now. The clock is ticking down. Going to take on a bit of water there. He always wears a fancy, colourful shirt, does Zarzo, I've noticed. as Gabriel leaves the pits, as does Francisco Lopez. Borges Arzo, 15, 16, 17 seconds now. He's surely got to drop soon. Into the 20s, 22.2. So would lose out to Jan Sarni by 1.1 second, but would gain over Rocco by 3/10. Well, there is Jan Sarni coming into shot now, and through he goes, and there is Rocco also in shot. Borges Arzo's off the limiter, and out the pit lane he comes. There is Rocco. This could be tight on the pit exit. Rocco is through, but Borges Arzo's a lot closer to Rocco. Just a couple of tenths less on the fuel, and he'd have probably been in front. But Jan Sarni out of all of that's the big beneficiary by being promoted to P4. Now has he got enough fuel in to get to the end of this race? Just been told as well that Lopez has gained some more time over Gabriel here. Lost 2 tenths in the pit stop, but has obviously gained that on the circuit as Laubish pits from the lead, as does Lewis Woods. Francisco Lopez really is driving well today. Alex and Prada into the pits as well. So the top 4 in. These are the last 4 cars to pit as well. So Prada to Gabriel is going to be an interesting watch, because Lopez is right on him. That gap's 1.2. You just get the feeling that Gabriel's still fiddling with a few things here, because there was no need to sort of take that line down the back straight from Lopez. He's not quite close enough. As out the pits comes Prada, who looks pretty close to the back of Alex all of a sudden. And yeah, he's jumped out of Gabriel, and he's pretty close to the back of Alex for a podium then. So with 23 minutes left to go, could Lucas Prada push for that podium? Gabriel's lost out massively to Prada. Beltran trying to gain on Zaza. Jan Sarni, the biggest beneficiary out of this pit stops by pitting and jumping Rocco. Was ahead of Zazo already. Porsche is just going to want to try and get past Rocco, maybe even close up to the back of Sardi, just to score a few extra points in this race. We're into that final 22 minutes. Lopez has now got past Gabriel, it's saying on the timing screens, by some 3 seconds as well. So has Gabriel made a mistake somewhere? Alonso and Statsenko. But Gabriel's, yeah, he's back to the pits. So, well, we'll try and get a replay of what happened for you there. But Gabriel out of this race at the very end. Is he just possibly having too many problems with cameras and things at home that it's just costing him time? Either way, he's out of this race. That's demoted him right to the very back. I'm sure he's in a fight with, is it possibly Prada for P2 in the championship, I believe. So that's possibly going to go the way of Prada tonight. Yeah, so Gabriel was on 449 and Prada was on 437. So that will go the way of Lucas Prada for P2 overall. Laubish has done brilliant to get that top 5 in the championship. Really well done for him. And this man, Francisco Lopez, well, he's 2.9 behind Lucas Prada. And what can he catch up here? Here is Pareda then, P3 in that AM category. He's on the back of Alonso, who's P6 in Pro. So this is what happened to Gabriel. It was a hardware failure, we do believe, look. Yeah, you just see there how the car, it's just not fully stopping or turning. This is on board, look. So he's got steering to the left, and then the steering all of a sudden just stops. And then the damage has already been inflicted. And that's why it won't turn left back onto the circuit. So, bit of a hardware issue there for Gabriel. Maybe that's what he's been suffering with a bit at times tonight. And that's why we've been seeing him fiddling around when he had the camera on. And maybe that's why some of the lines have been a little strange, because the wheel not reacting how it wants to. And, you know, this is the beauty of sim racing, isn't it? You know, in the real world, you can have punches, gearbox problems, engine issues. And in the sim world, you have to rely on that piece of equipment in front of you. And let's let Gabriel down on the final race of the season. Sadly, what a challenger he's been, though. He's been absolutely fantastic. Couple of race wins to his name as well this season. Yeah, just the one race win, sorry, to his name this season. Been on the podium several times. He's been really enjoyable to watch. Now watching Parade here, P3 overall. Jan Sarni is well behind him. 5 seconds off the bank. Which is also gained on the back of Rocco here. This would be for a few more points for Borgia. Comes through turn 1 into 3 now. That McLaren just getting a little closer to the Porsche. Borges also just wanting to maybe make up that one more spot, and if he could get on the back of Sarni in the last 18 minutes, possibly a big ask, but every point's going to help here. Track temp has just dropped a little bit. It's now 28.3 degrees. It's not dropped loads here, but dropped a bit. Beltran is just behind these two as well, to keep an eye on him to maybe pick up a place or two. Your race leader, Nicholas Laubish. Been a quiet one tonight, been a very quiet one for all drivers involved. And you have to say, for Laubish, you know, he's just cruise control, increasing the gap. He's just been brilliant. He's just been brilliant. He's not put a foot wrong, has he, this race? Zorzo's just passed Rocco on the timing screen, so I believe that move's been done by Borges Zorzo, the McLaren driver. Yes, it has. Look into the final corner. Borges Zorzo now moves up into 5th and is some 3.1 seconds off the back of Jan Sarni. So if he can get close to the back of Sarni now and maybe try and make a move there in this final 17, nearly 16 minutes. 5 drivers have scored 2 pole positions each in Pro this season. Lewis Woods, Lucas Prada, Nicholas Laubish, Alex Dunn and Hugh Barter then have all scored 2 pole positions this season. Great little stat there. As Gabriel is now out of this race, and Borges also now will want to try and bring that gap down to Jan Sarni and maybe just give himself as best an opportunity to score a couple more points, maybe finish in that 4th spot for some extra prize money in AM. And after this, he'll be gearing up for the next Racing Unleashed event in 2 weeks' time. Challenge 3. Circuit will be announced later this week, I believe on the 4th. Just keep your eyes on social media, Twitter or X or Instagram, over on Racing Unleashed for what will be the 3rd round of the season on the Assetto Corsa platform, the in-house championship. And this, the final race of the season here at iRacing. Also just dropping that 2 wheels onto the gravel. That's just going to cost him a bit of momentum. Obviously the countdown to Christmas today. 1st of December, Advent calendars were opened. Borges also just creeping around that final corner. Rocco's not let that one go, and that gap to Jansson, stayed the same actually. They lapped identical. Beltran's a couple of tenths quicker than Rocco, so could be the two behind starting to have a fight, and that's probably not going to be the worst thing for Borges Orzo here. Nicholas Lavish, by the way, fastest lap last time around. 2 minutes exactly. 2 minutes exactly. Flying in this race. Really is having a good time of it out there. This gap's 3 seconds now to Lewis Woods. Nicholas Lavish been brilliant. Alex as well, P3 at the moment. Francisco Lopez is 4 seconds behind Prada. Prada's half a second off the back of Alex. That's P3 and P4 overall. Hortonen's on the back of Jonathan Riley now as well. That is for position, but that's 5th in Pro versus 2nd in Am. This is Borges Orzo, still trying to defend from Rocco and Beltran. Hey, look, here's Alex just defending from that of Prada. So late on in this race. As they all come down the back straight now, at the start straight. Lucas Prada needs to win this race to pass Gabriel for 2nd in the Pro Championship. So, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. So it looks like Gabriel's probably going to hang on for 2nd place in the championship. But he'd love a podium to end this season, that's for sure. When does the new season start? Not quite sure yet. Not 100% certain at the moment. As Alex is coming down the back straight now. Sun setting here at Sebring. Just 12 minutes left of this championship. Lucas Prada is right on the back of that of Alex. He drove a good race today. Drove a really good race. Just looking at the timing screens. Hortonen is gaining on O'Reilly slightly. But that's for position, but not for points, because one's in Am, one's in Pro. And this is Prada, who is now heading down the back straight. You see that sun setting. It's be a horrible glare for the drivers through their windscreens down this back straight. Into the final corner. Alex just a little wider than Prada through the entry. Lavish now over 3.2. Woods made a mistake somewhere because that time seemed to go up quite quickly. It's now coming back down, so maybe not. Prada at the moment, P4. Alex just a little unsure on the brakes there. Kept just applying a bit of brake through the corner. Under 11 minutes to go. This is great racing. This is great racing. It's been nice and patient. It could have just been, you know, all guns blazing. Everybody could have been doing whatever they needed to do. Who was that off? That's Statsenko getting past. Not quite sure. Was that Jansson? No. Must be a back marker down the order. It could have been all guns blazing, you know, all gloves off, everybody racing each other hard. You know, and we've not had that. We've had some pretty good racing here. Some nice patient racing. Statsenko is a couple of seconds behind that of Alonso. Parade is on the back of Alonso. My timing screen not updated properly because Statsenko is ahead of Parade on screen. What we do know is Alex is still fending off Prada at this moment in time. There's Francisco Lopez in the background. He's had a great race. He's had a great end to his season. A real good end to his season. And has been fantastic. And I'll tell you what, if the championship was to come down to this race tonight, you know, he'd have done nothing wrong in this one. But this is for P3 overall and in Pro. Prada versus Alex. Through into the turn 3, 4 and 5 they go. Very, very quiet end to this race, opposed to 2 weeks ago where it was all action right up until the final corner. This has been very, very quiet. You can just see Alex just doing everything he needs to do. He's just stopping it on the apex exactly where he needs to. He's just putting the car where he needs to. He's really making Prada work for this one. And rightly so. This is for a podium at the end of the day. Laubish out front, he's just controlled the race. Zarzo. Right, so the timing screen has now updated my end. Statsenko was ahead of Prada. That's who that was. He got past there, so Prada had made a mistake. Zarzo is under 3 seconds to Sarni, but 7.5 minutes remaining. That is tough ask. He's got to start to really gain some time over Jan. This is the battle for P3. See Alex here, just sort of trying to break the slipstream. But has to be careful because what is then considered as weaving, as Prada comes into that final corner, really gains midway through. Back onto the power down the start straight. 7 minutes left. And Prada must be wondering what he's got to do to get a move done here, because he jumped Gabriel in the pits but was sat behind him for so long. And it really does tighten up as Alex has just brushed the wall a little bit there. And it really does tighten up on the corners at this circuit. And that's what makes this one brilliant. Is you've got to get the run out the corner to really get alongside. As Nicholas Laubish last time around, 1:59.9. So he's broken the 2 minute mark. Just see there, look, just how much he's got to, Prada's got to go slow. Has to not hit the back of Alex. Six minutes left in this race. What a race it's been for Nicholas Laubish and for Francisco Lopez, the AM leader. In a quiet end to a dramatic season. Is Prada going to have a look here? You just feel something's coming. Prada, patient as ever. Is he going to try and get the run out of this section now to then maybe get the slipstream down the back straight? Oh, definitely now, surely. Alex drops a wheel onto the grass. And this is surely the chance for Lucas Prada as Alex now just starts to defend the inside line, comes back across. That's his two manoeuvres. And he does somehow just do enough there to not allow Lucas Prada alongside. Nicholas Laubish, another fastest lap of a 1:59.921 now. So he's really turning it on. I don't think he needs to. Don't think he needs to risk maybe a mistake by turning this on so late. Where can Prada get through? Borges Orzo's down to 2.7 to Sarni. I think Borges Orzo is probably going to do enough to hang on into top 5. Lewis Woods is on course for his 7th second place from 9 races this season, finishing first in the other 2. That obviously gets rid of the drop scores. What an impressive feat that will be. To go through the gears now. Alex just still being able to place the car where he needs to over Prada behind. Prada's a little closer this time though. Coming in towards turn 16. Very close now is Prada. Is he this time got the run? Alex goes defensive. Prada goes to follow him. Goes right over to the wall. Oh, you can't come back too quick now because Prada has got alongside just about. And they head into the final corner. Lucas Prada's going to look around the outside. Is he going to try and get the up and under? No, he's not, 'cause he's fully alongside. Won't be able to get as good an exit here with Lucas Prada as he's very, very wide. Obviously mid-corner, and that's now just going to drop him behind. Beltran's got past Rocco on the timing screens. But now Lucas Prada going into final couple of laps. In fact, Rocco's lost out to Vartanen as well. So not sure what's happened to Rocco at the end. But Lucas Prada now really starting to put the pressure on Alex. Alex defended that very well. Very, very well. This is Rocco then, so he's just lost 2 places. Car looks to be okay. Is he fuel saving, I wonder? Alvaro in the background, P9. Decent result for him on a comeback after that spin early on, but Rocco has dropped down the order. This is what happened to him then a few moments ago. So, oh, just a moment, all on his own through the couple of tricky corners. Was it just too much on the curb? No, it just went. Car just went all light. And he had the moment, and around she goes. So all on his own, he's done all the hard work, and all on his own at the very end. Losers out on the rear. Prada now, gap is opened back up once again. As Nicholas Laubish is coming to the line to start the final lap of the race and of the season. Nicholas Laubish will take the white flag here at Sebring and has one more to do. Prada then knows now that if he wants that final podium, it's now or never. He's got to get close. He's got to try and have a look somewhere. He's got to do it cleanly, let's not forget. It was a personal best last lap for Alex as well. So Alex here, fantastic at the very end. And here comes Prada on the back of Alex, just trying to get a little bit closer. Just cannot get close enough. right there. He is right there. The hour ticks by. We're just over halfway through this lap. Here's Nicholas Laubish. What a race for him today. Lewis Woods just hasn't had an answer. As is the case for Francisco Lopez in AM, to be fair. Great drive from him. Towards the back end of the lap we come now. There's a couple of tricky bends before turn 16 and the back straight. This is Will Prada. Whoa, moment there for Alex. Just on the curb. Now can Prada finally have a look? He's going to have to go to the outside line. Alex is just squeezing him. Prada has got his car ahead. But here comes Nicholas Laubish for the final time this season. Nicholas will lead across the line and wins the race here. Lewis Woods will get P2. Prada, though, I think, has missed out here. He's on the wrong side of the track. Alex is going to hang on in there for P3. A great drive to the podium from Alex. Prada P4. Francisco Lopez, the winner in AM. Great drive for him. Jonathan Riley is going to be P5. From Alexei Partanen, P2 in class. Great result for him. Pareda is going to finish P3 in the amateur class. Sarni 4th, Borges also finished 5th, Beltran 6th. So Francisco Lopez will finish on 5 wins, the same as Eno Verhoeven, and Nicholas Laubish will finish on 3 wins, the same as Alex Dunn this season. And there then is your top 3 on the track there at Sebring. Pulled up probably for a photo at the end by one of our drivers. But Nicholas Laubish, Lewis Woods, Alex was your top 3. Top 3 in AM was Francisco Lopez, Alexei Partanen and Adrian Pareda. We'll try and speak with them momentarily. But what a race to the end of this season. Vamos Francisco in the chat. Indeed, it was a great race from him today. That is it, though, for an end of a season. A quiet race to end off a dramatic season. What a championship it has been. Once again, a massive congratulations to Lewis Woods, your pro champion, and to Eno Verhoeven for winning the AM championship. Obviously, if you want to see the full standings and full classifications, make sure you follow us on our social medias on X and on Instagram. Follow us of Racing Unleashed. Which has been a fantastic championship to be a part of. Thank you all for joining us along this journey this season. Obviously, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for the Assetto Corsa, the in-house championship at our racing lounges at Madrid, Munich and in Zurich, where we will be Challenge 3. I believe that we will find out the track in 3 days' time. I do believe it is. So we'll find out what round 3 of the championship will be. Obviously, the traumas we had of Monza last week will be finally getting grace to see here what we can do in a week's time, as we just await to speak to the top 3 drivers in both AM and Pro. And there we go. Towers is the team manager, proud for these results. We can speak, though, with Francisco Lopez first, who I believe is ready to go and chat with us.
Yes.
Francisco, very well done. Very, very well done. That was a very good race from yourself. Just talk us through a little bit of it. It seemed pretty comfortable.
Yeah, no opposition. I practiced a lot of hours for this one because Sebring was on the official GT3 race from public online races on iRacing. So I knew it was going to be a bit easy without Eno. I knew Alexei was a danger to me, but it seems like he was stuck behind someone. So yeah, it was easy for me. But in my head, I was fighting the guys of the Pro Division, and I'm a bit disappointed I didn't finish in front of more of them. But it's okay. It has been a nice race and a very nice season.
We spoke 2 weeks ago, Francisco, about that challenge of maybe making that step up next season to the pros and you wanting to learn and race them more. You did just that today. You was fighting with a few of them and made a few good overtakes to get through. Like you say, maybe just a shame not to be fighting for that overall podium at the end.
Yeah, I managed to pass the Ferrari guys. they made it easy for me because they know we are not in the same fight. They are new to iRacing, so they are still learning. But yeah, I was surprised it was quite close to Gabriel and to Lucas. I know they are like 9,000 iRating, so that's pretty good to finish just like 4 or 5 seconds behind them. It's very good for me. I'm getting closer.
Yeah, getting closer, and it must give you confidence as well going into potentially next season or other championships moving forward for yourself.
Well, it's giving me a bit of confidence, but I feel like there is a big step for me now. I feel like there is 3/4 tenths of a second with, for example, Niklas with the same car and same setup, and I can't really find out how to give one more step. And I think I need a bit of help from someone else. So if I make it to the Pro Division, I don't expect to be fighting for the win like I was this year. But maybe a top 5 and a money prize will be available to me.
Well, Francisco, congratulations on the championship this season. 2nd place overall. Well done. Great season from yourself.
Thanks a lot, mate. I hope to see you on the next one.
Hopefully so. Indeed there, Francisco Lopez with the race win today in great fashion. We can now speak with your pro race winner. Nicholas Laubish was #1 overall, and Nicholas, pretty much like Francisco in it was a pretty easy race for yourself. You did the hard work early.
Yeah, at the start of the race, I just kept my cool and I lifted quite a lot for every corner. And in the end, I think I saved 6 or 7 liters in the whole race. So in the end, it worked out for me. I was a bit concerned about Lewis because he was able to keep up. And well, when you drive behind someone, you can save even more. But in the end, it worked out. I don't know what happened to Lewis, but suddenly I just gained some pace compared to him. And yeah, in the end, I just fueled as much as I needed to, and yeah, kept my cool the whole race.
And it was great to see the pace at the end of the race. Managed to get into the 59.9s towards the back end. Lewis just couldn't match you today for pace, and that's pretty much it. It was how quick you was over how quick he was, and you came out the quicker driver.
Yeah, for me it was also pretty surprising that I was able to go down to the 59s. It felt like a hypercloud like 3 or 4 years ago when in iRacing you gained like 1 or 2 seconds per lap when the cloud was covering the track. That's how it felt for me for some reason, but yeah, I don't know what exactly happened there. Maybe it was my tire management, which was a bit better, or just the car. I really have no idea.
All in all, though, a good race from you. That's probably going to cement top 5 and a bit of prize money for yourself in this championship. Just talk us through a little bit of it. Obviously, we know you had some ups, we know you've had some downs this season, but to end on a high is really good.
Yeah, I know I really had an unfortunate season. I got killed 3 times in these races, and my car selection at the start of the season seems to not be the perfect one. So I had a bit of a disadvantage, and also I missed round 2 by accident because I had so much going on with uni and stuff. Yeah, I think I would have been able to fight for the championship in the end, but yeah, this time it didn't work out, unfortunately.
It didn't work out, but it puts yourself in a great position going into a potential next season and other championships. Nicholas, congratulations today on the race win, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you again soon.
Thank you, thank you.
Nicholas Laubish there, then your pro race winner on the grid today. What a drive from him. We can speak with Lewis Woods now, your pro champion. Obviously, we said 2 weeks ago, Lewis just wasn't to be for that race win today, but a lowest finish of 2nd place, that cannot be disappointing in what has been a very good season.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with that. I think the car choice this week wasn't quite as good as the McLaren. The car definitely, I had initial pace and then fell off quite hard, and when the car is really stiff and doesn't have any traction, it's very easy to make mistakes. So there's a few laps where I really dropped off and then was kind of back on the pace, and then I think after we'd pit the pace was good and then it dropped off again. But yeah, I'm very happy with that.
It was enough though over Alex and the cars behind him to keep hold of that 2nd place and be pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I think initially I was definitely just along for the ride with Nicholas and just trying to fuel save as much as I could and tire save.
Championship in a whole though, Lewis, it's been a great season for you. Lowest finish of 2nd place all season long. just talk us through a bit of it, because you know, at times you've had some tough fights with Gabriel and with other drivers, but then there's been some races where you've just been a class above the rest.
Yeah, I'd say most of it's just some weeks it clicks, other weeks it doesn't. For example, at Road Atlanta, I really had another step of pace. Maybe Suzuka around race 1 as well. Just, I think, preparing myself for every situation with strategy and fuel saving really helps. So,
yeah. Well, Lewis, congratulations on the season. Congratulations on the championship. Enjoy that one, and we'll hopefully see you again soon.
thank you.
Thank you to Lewis Woods there, then, who is absolutely fantastic. We can do Alex now, who is 3rd place in the race, and I have to say, some of the best defensive driving at the end of that race, because Prada was mounting the pressure on, and then on the last lap had a bit of a moment on the curb and probably thought that was his podium gone.
Yeah, I had that moment probably 3 times the race. In practice, I didn't have any time a problem in that curve, but I don't know what I did wrong, and I had to defend the best way possible.
Ended the season though on the podium, fighting hard and working hard for it. Was a good race for you.
Yeah, it was actually a good race. I had the start was a bit unfortunate that I think was Gabriel pushed me off, and I had to do a slowdown, and then I was parked there and I couldn't pass him, but yeah, it was a good race after all.
And P3 to end the championship. Just talk us through a bit of your championship this season. Happy with the season so far, and happy with how it went?
Yeah, I'm happy with the season. I'm happy with the drivers and how it's all made. You guys did a really good work with everything, so I'm really happy for everything here.
Well, Alex, congratulations on the podium. Enjoy that one, and hopefully see you again soon.
Thank you.
Alex there, P3 in the Pro class today. We can speak with Partonen to end the driver interviews today. And Alexei, P3 was pretty much confirmed in the championship going into today's race. It was just about really, you know, trying to get another race win for yourself.
Yeah, it was basically it. So wasn't really anything else. But I think Lopez just showed why he is P2 and I'm P3 in the championship. In this race, I didn't have really any chance against him today.
We didn't really see a lot of you today, Alexei. It was P2, like you said. Lopez too far in front, but you was too far in front of the others to really sort of have any fights. You was kind of driving with the pro drivers, wasn't you? How was that for you, racing against some of the pros?
Well, I think there was no racing at all, because I just wanted to get to the finish line cleanly and just take the best possible position and just avoid any risk with the pro driver. So it was just like cruising behind and having just like a Sunday drive.
A Sunday drive indeed. P3 in the championship though overall. Pretty happy with that? Happy with this where your season's gone?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't have high expectations really, because I didn't know the what kind of quality and how fast people are in this series. But I'm glad that I was P3 and little disappointed because I didn't have the best the cleanest season. I have many mistakes and few crashes and Monza disconnect, but overall I'm happy with the P3.
Good to hear. Alexei, congratulations on the P2 today and on the P3 in the championship. Hope to see you very, very soon, and very well done indeed.
Yeah, thank you. I hope there will be new seasons that our team can take part of.
Indeed. Congratulations, Alexei. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, thank you.
to Alexi Parton. And they're P2 in the championship overall. We're not going to be able to speak with Adrian Prada today. He's obviously not down for an interview. But what a season it's been. 10 weeks or 10 races throughout this calendar, plus the special events we did earlier in the year to bring you some fantastic iRacing action here in 2024. A step into the unknown for us at Racing Unleashed, and we hope we delivered some fantastic drama. There's only one race left of the calendar year for us here on Racing Unleashed, and that is Challenge 3 of the Assetto Corsa Championship. That'll be brought to you on the 14th of December. But all that's left to say then is congratulations to Lewis Wood and to Eno Verhoeven. Goodbye.